Today is day 11 of Arnhem University's 90-day Jumpstart program. Once again, I'm Joseph Anderson, and today we're going to talk about the value of work. Do you know what's going to separate you from everybody else? It's the value of work, of really digging into something and taking it on. I'm going to paraphrase a little bit of a quote by President Ezra Taft Benson. He said, "I've often said one of the greatest secrets of missionary work is work. If missionary works, he will get the Spirit. If he gets the Spirit, he will teach by the Spirit. If he teaches by the Spirit, he will touch the hearts of the people and he will be happy. Work, work, work. There is no satisfactory substitute, especially in missionary work." So once you've decided what it is that you really want to do, once you've made that commitment as we talked about yesterday, there's going to come a point when you've got to decide whether you want to take in the challenge or essentially whether you want to put up or shut up. There's no way around it. Everything worthwhile is going to take work. And if you look at it with that way, there's a lot of value that comes from work. I mean, a great challenge, something that's really fun. I mean, you look at basketball, for example. How many people would go watch a professional basketball team if they weren't playing against another team? I mean, watching them just run up into the court, shooting baskets and scoring every point. I mean, with no challenger, they'd score every single time down the court. Nobody wants to watch that. I mean, the same way, you think about any favorite movie that you have. The main character always takes on some sort of a challenge. And you look at the scriptures. I mean, what would the Book of Mormon be without challenges? What would it be like if, Nephi hadn't gone in and got the plates? What would it be like if Moroni hadn't had to take on challenges? Because every single one of those challenges, they made the individual stronger. With Nephi, it made him who he was. I mean, if you look at it, Nephi had to go back and get the plates before he was able to even get his wife. So we've all got to overcome certain challenges in our lives, and it doesn't matter what they are, because the key is always the same. We decide what challenge we want to face, and then we plan for it, and then we take it on. And we take it on wholeheartedly. You look at the examples of some of the greatest athletes in the world. I look at, for example, Michael Jordan, and of how much he had to fail in order to get where he was, but of the level of challenge that he demanded of himself. And every professional athlete, the amount of dedication that they take on, and how much fun a challenge can be. Like I said, nobody wants to watch a movie that has no challenges in it. I mean, can you imagine watching a movie with somebody that's already made it, just sitting around their house, just enjoying themselves all day long? Nobody wants to watch it. But at the same time, nobody wants to live that. And people that do live that very quickly realize that it's at a significant cost. As opposed to a person that really goes on, yourself, for example. What's a challenge that you want to take on? What's something huge, something that seems absolutely out of this world that you want to take on? And then go take it head on. See, it's not the thing that we're afraid of. It's the perception of the thing that we're afraid of. So we all have a certain belief that, oh my goodness, this is going to be scary. Well, yeah, it probably is. But so is not doing that thing. And when you get it into your head that a challenge is something fun and exciting. I mean, when's the last time that you really grabbed something by the horns and took control of it? What challenges are you facing in your life right now? Have you created an action plan to be able to overcome those challenges? There's so many challenges you face as an RN. But you start off one by one. The same way you'd eat an elephant, a bite at a time. And if you plan, and if you set up the game to win, say, okay, I'm going to get this done by this day. So you've got this huge, huge challenge, but you've also got these little challenges along the way. And they're essentially, if you look at it as a racing example, they're checkpoints. It's like, all right, I made it to this point. Excellent. Now I make it to this point. Awesome. And then you just keep going until you hit that big challenge. It's not about setting a huge challenge and never looking at it again. I highly recommend, and we'll get into this another day, but setting a day to plan and setting a day to overlook your schedule. And it's kind of like if you get behind in a class and it's only 1 week out, you can save yourself. You get behind in a class and you're a semester done before you realize it, it's over. There's no way you can do anything about it almost. So I really want to encourage you to look at challenges as opportunities to grow. And if you look at it from a spiritual perspective, Satan is consistently giving us spiritual challenges to overcome that allow us to grow. You know, every single time that he puts a temptation in our path, he's giving us that opportunity to say no. And when we say no, we gain the power of that temptation that we just accomplished. Steve Chandler talks a little bit about that in one of his books. And it's so powerful because once we gain that control, we realize what we're really capable of. And the larger challenges that we accomplish, our challenges get bigger and bigger and bigger. If there's a challenge that you think is going to escape your life, that you think it's just going to disappear, it's not. Every single challenge has something that we need to learn from it. If you don't learn, the challenge is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger until you finally learn the lesson. But the quicker you learn the lesson, the quicker you get to move on in life. And it's kind of like that movie Groundhog Day, if you've ever seen it. The man lives the same day over and over for years. And then finally he figures out what it was that he was needed to accomplish. And then finally, it becomes the next day. And it's the same way for us. So figure out what challenge you want to face and write it down. Now write 3 single steps that you can take between now and next week, a week from today, that you're willing to take. And then schedule them into your planner or Google Calendar or whatever it is that you use and do it. It's the doing of the thing that makes the thing easier. Thanks so much for joining us for RM University's 90-Day Jumpstart program. Once again, my name is Joseph Anderson, and you guys have an awesome day.